The hospital corridor stretched endlessly before Maya as she stood frozen, clutching the doctor's report. Stage 3. The words blurred through her tears. At 28, with a promising career as a graphic designer and dreams of opening her own studio, cancer wasn't supposed to be part of her story. "We'll start treatment immediately," the oncologist had said, his voice kind but clinical. Maya nodded, unable to speak, unable to process that her body had just betrayed her. The first month was brutal. Chemotherapy ravaged her system, stealing her thick black hair, her energy, her confidence. She'd always been the strong one, the friend everyone leaned on, the daughter who made her parents proud. Now, she could barely lift her head from the pillow. One Tuesday morning, unable to face another day just staring at the ceiling, Maya dragged herself to the small park near her apartment. She sat on a bench, her scarf wrapped tightly around her bare head, watching a little girl attempt to ride a bicycle. The child fell, got up, fell again, and again. But each time, she stood with more determination, her face set in fierce concentration. "She's been at it for an hour," said an elderly woman sitting nearby. "Reminds me of myself, years ago. I was a dancer, you know? Broke my leg in 3 places during a performance. The doctors said I'd never dance again." The woman smiled, her eyes twinkling. "I performed for 15 more years." Maya looked at her with new eyes. "How?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Pain has a strange gift, dear," the woman replied. "It shows you what you're made of. Every person who's done something remarkable has a story of pain they transformed into power." Those words echoed in Maya's mind during her next treatment session. As the chemicals dripped into her veins, she made a decision. This cancer wouldn't be the end of her story. It would be the beginning of a new chapter. She started small. Between treatments, when she had enough energy, Maya began sketching again. But this wasn't her usual commercial work. These were raw, emotional pieces about her journey, pain flowing from her heart onto the paper. The artwork was unlike anything she'd created before, vulnerable, honest, and powerful. Her friend Jasmine visited one afternoon and saw the sketches scattered across Maya's bed. "These are incredible," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "Maya, people need to see these. Others fighting what you're fighting need to know they're not alone." Within a week, Jasmine had organized a small exhibition at a local cafe. Maya was terrified. These pieces exposed her deepest fears, her darkest moments. But when she arrived at the opening, wearing a vibrant scarf and her brightest smile, the room was packed. A young woman approached, her own head wrapped in a familiar scarf. "Thank you," she said simply, pointing to a piece Maya had titled "The Warrior Within." "I was ready to give up. Your art reminded me that I'm stronger than I think." That night changed everything. Maya realized her pain had given her a unique voice, a perspective that could touch lives in ways her previous work never had. She started a blog, sharing not just her art but her story, the fear, the setbacks, the small victories. Her audience grew. Hundreds, then thousands of people followed her journey, finding hope in her honesty. She wasn't pretending it was easy. She was showing them it was possible. The treatment was a marathon, not a sprint. There were days Maya couldn't get out of bed, days the pain seemed unbearable. But she'd learned something profound. Strength isn't about never falling down. It's about choosing to get up, even when every part of you wants to stay down. 18 months after her diagnosis, Maya sat in the same doctor's office. This time the news was different. Remission. The words sounded like music. She cried, but these were tears of triumph. Yet Maya discovered she wasn't the same person. The pain had carved away everything superficial. What remained was someone stronger, more compassionate, more purposeful than she'd ever been. She finally opened her studio, but it wasn't the commercial design firm she'd once envisioned. Instead, she created a space where art met healing, where people facing hardship could express their pain and transform it into something beautiful. She hired other cancer survivors, creating not just a business but a community of warriors. On the studio's opening day, Maya placed a plaque on the wall. "Our scars are proof that we fought, and we won." The elderly woman from the park was there. She hugged Maya tightly and whispered, "I told you pain had a gift for you." Maya smiled, looking around at the space she'd created from ashes, at the lives already being touched by her story. "It gave me purpose," she said. "It gave me strength I didn't know I needed. It gave me everything." The pain that broke her had indeed made her stronger, not despite her suffering, but because of what she chose to do with it. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that remind us that within our pain, we can find our greatest strength. Thanks for watching.